Welcome to Dead Giveaway. I'm Billy.
And I'm Carley.
This is a two-part podcast. In episode 1, I will tell a true story, but change the names and locations to try and see if my true crime-obsessed wife can discover the truth.
In part 2, Billy reveals the answers, and we will discuss the details of the case. Will I get it wrong, or will it be a dead giveaway?
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to the show. Today we got something a little bit different for you.
Yeah.
It is my birthday weekend, so
Yes.
my loving, dear little wife decided to take on this week's episode, so we're switching places.
Which I deeply regret. After I started doing it, I was like, oh, God, this is a lot of work.
Yeah. It can be a little time consuming.
I like being the person who just listens and asks stupid questions.
Oh, I'm going to ask a lot of stupid questions.
Good. I will have no answers for you.
And then you will know what it feels like. What is a joiner?
Oh, my God. What? I didn't know.
Out of all the questions you could ask, that's the one.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to get into it here. Hope y'all are having a wonderful Monday.
Yes.
Great start to your week.
Yes.
Hopefully Carly doesn't ruin it for you here.
I hope I don't.
I love you. I'm sure you did great.
Okay. All right. So, you ready?
I am.
Okay.
Lay it on me. Let's
All right.
go.
Andrew Smith was a man who lived a loud life, but his end was deafening.
Dang, did he have bad gas?
Oh my God. This is going to prove the point of why this should be reversed all the time. One sentence in. It was a typical Friday afternoon, the kind of day where the transition from work to the weekend usually begins with a workout or a hobby. Andrew had just finished a game of racquetball. If you know anything about the sport, it fits Andrew perfectly. It's high energy, claustrophobic, and incredibly aggressive.
Are we racquetball buddies?
We are.
Okay.
You mean like Monica and Richard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, racquetball buddies.
Yes, we are. He walked out of the local sports club, likely still coming down from the adrenaline of the game, his mind already drifting to his next high-stakes deal. The parking lot was quiet. He climbed into his Lincoln Town Car, a heavy steel-frame vehicle that was usually feeling like a fortress. The moment he turned the key, that fortress became a cage. A massive shockwave shattered the afternoon stillness. This wasn't just a bang, it was a percussion that people felt in their chests blocks away. A pipe bomb, concealed with terrifying precision, detonated directly under the driver's seat. The physics of the bomb were simple but cruel. Pressure builds inside a sealed metal tube until the steel itself can no longer hold, turning the casing into hundreds of jagged, high-velocity shards. The interior of the vehicle was heavily damaged by the force of the event. The driver's side was most affected, and it was clear from the outset that the consequences were fatal. Despite the intensity of the blast, the damage was remarkably contained to the driver's area, leaving the rest of the vehicle a silent witness to the precision of the act.
This sounds familiar.
Oh?
Yes. I vaguely remember watching a Forensic Files or Dateline episode.
Oh, no, I know which one you're talking about. This isn't
a long time ago with pipe bombs.
Yes,
And
this isn't it.
Okay.
No, that was the bomb in the mail package. Oh, there was a pipe bomb. You're right.
There was, yeah.
But that's not it.
Okay. Just what you said Lincoln Town Car.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at? Or will we get there?
I really didn't even pinpoint a time frame.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to make a note of that.
You do that to throw me off. I don't have to throw you off.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. Anyways, continue with
Okay.
your farce.
Okay. Let's see. Where was I? When investigators arrived, they quickly moved past the initial chaos to look for the signature of the event. In forensic circles, the placement of such a device often tells a story more clearly than any witness. This isn't a random act of destruction, it was a targeted execution. The positioning of the device was the first major clue. It was placed to ensure maximum impact on the occupant of the driver's seat, suggesting a high degree of premeditation.
Was it inside the car or underneath?
It was inside the car. This indicated that whoever was responsible likely understood the target's daily routine, including which vehicle was used and exactly when it would be occupied. As teams processed the scene, they began to piece together the level of planning involved. The nature of the event suggested that the perpetrator may have been monitoring the location, waiting for the precise moment to act. This adds a chilling layer to the narrative, the idea that someone was watching from a distance, perhaps across the street or parked in a nearby car, waiting for the gym session to end. This level of coordination points towards a calculated motive. It suggests a situation where the act was not an emotional outburst, but a deliberate and cold-blooded decision. For the investigators, this meant looking into professional rivalries and high-stakes conflicts that would warrant such extreme and precise response.
Well, look at who recently lost to racquetball.
Yes, some people are that competitive. I'm not going to name one of our children, but you know who I mean.
Bella.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, whoops.
Oops.
Hope you're not listening, Bella. So, to find out who killed Andrew Smith, investigators first had to find out who he had burned. And the deeper they dug, the more they realized that list was miles long.
Ooh, what was he doing? What was he, just a butthole or?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Not really.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it.
We are.
Yeah, tell me.
In the public eye, Andrew was a shrewd businessman. But in the world of high finance, that's often a polite code. That's often a polite code for someone who plays fast and loose with other people's money. He was a master of the shell game, moving capital from one failing project to
another.
Yeah, to set up the next one, always staying one step ahead of the bill collector. By the mid-1990s, oh, there you go. Andrew had pivoted into the high-octane world of international casino ventures. We're talking about massive, multi-party deals involving hundreds of millions of dollars, the kind of business that attracts equally massive egos and even more massive debts. On the outside, he was still the king of the casino, flying private jets and closing deals in international boardrooms. But the reality was far grimmer. Andrew Smith was a man drowning in a sea of his own making. I am stumbling over my own words.
It's okay. I do the same thing. It's all right.
Okay. So, enter Mario Esparza. Mario wasn't just another disgruntled associate. He was a man who felt he'd been methodically and legally robbed. He had been a key partner in some of Andrew's biggest ventures, and as one of these projects began to bleed money, the relationship turned toxic. Mario realized that while he was losing his life savings, Andrew was allegedly hiding funds in offshore accounts and shifting ownership stakes to protect himself. By the time the bomb went off, Mario was in the middle of a brutal, hostile lawsuit against Andrew. He wasn't just suing for a breach of contract, he was accusing Andrew of outright fraud. Imagine the hostility in those depositions, the accusations of betrayal, the million-dollar losses, the sense of absolute ruin. When a man like Mario sees his future evaporating while his partner continues to live a life of luxury, the line between a courtroom and a crime scene can be very, very thin.
That it can. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame Mario.
I know.
No, it sounds like Mario definitely had some beef.
Yes.
Do we have a background on Mario? Do we know anything about him aside from he was just a partner?
No, just a business partner.
So we don't know if he had any expertise in...
No, we don't know that.
In the assembly of pipe bombs.
Right.
Okay.
So, but Mario was just the tip of the iceberg. Investigators began to find a whole gallery of burn investors, people who had trusted Andrew with their retirements, their businesses, and their reputations, only to find it all vanish into a black hole of his failing empire. Every deal Andrew touched seemed to leave a trail of financial wreckage behind it. In a world where millions are lost and lives are ruined, motives for murder aren't hard to find. The question for the police wasn't who had a reason to kill Andrew Smith, it was who had reason to do it first. Because of the sheer violent nature of the bombing and Andrew's sprawling international ties, the mafia question didn't just linger. It loomed over the entire investigation like a shadow. This wasn't a crime of passion. It wasn't a heated argument that ended in a shooting or a desperate act of a single individual. It was an assassination. It was cold, it was calculated, and it was performed with a level of technical cleanliness that pointed towards a professional.
Okay, so back up a second. You said mafia.
Yes.
Okay. So did he have direct ties to the mafia?
Well, his part of his ventures were in casinos.
Right.
And that often comes with that type of personality. Mafia people. Mafia types. I don't know. That's what I read. I don't know anybody in the mafia, so I don't know if that's true for sure.
I don't know anybody in the casino business, but
so that's what I read.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So now we've got a possible mafia tie.
Right.
Okay.
So in the world of high-stakes gambling, there's a very thin line between legitimate business and the underworld. When Andrew Smith pivoted into the world of international casinos, specifically focusing on jurisdictions like Aruba, he wasn't just dealing with bankers and architects. He was moving into a territory where you inevitably rub shoulders with organized crime syndicates. These are environments where disputes aren't always settled in a courtroom with a judge and a gavel. Sometimes they're settled in parking lots or alligator pits.
What is it with him in Aruba? Do you think he had like a deal with the airlines?
Are we doing a friends themed comment
I
section
don't know.
today?
This really fits a lot in here.
Investigators began to pull at the threads of
Wait,
Andrew.
alligator pits?
Yeah, it was just a joke.
What?
It was just a joke.
Okay.
You know how
wow.
like when people get mixed in with the wrong people, they're always like, "We're going to feed you to the alligators."
Be sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah, it was just a joke.
Yeah.
Investigators began to pull at the threads of Andrew's overseas connections, and what they found was a dark rabbit hole of international fixers and shadowy investors. In the casino world, money doesn't just flow, it disappears. And if Andrew was playing his signature shell game with the wrong people's capital, the consequences could be more than just a lawsuit.
It could be a pipe bomb under the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about the questions the detectives had to ask. Did Andrew owe a debt that he couldn't pay to people who don't take bankruptcy as an answer? Or perhaps more dangerously, did he know something that made him a liability? In these circles, if a partner becomes a witness or a visionary becomes a snitch, they become a target. The pipe bomb itself was a signature piece of evidence. It's a weapon designed for terror as much as lethality. It's meant to send a message to anyone else watching. The precision of the trigger, the choice of the remote detonator. This fit the profile of a professional hitman perfectly. It suggested a level of surveillance and technical expertise that goes far beyond a disgruntled business partner. It suggested a contract. As the police dug deeper into these international ties, they found themselves chasing ghosts across borders, trying to determine if the order to kill Andrew Smith was designed in a Tucson boardroom or in a backroom hallway across the world. For a long time, this was the leading theory, that Andrew had finally gambled with a stake he couldn't afford to lose, and the house had come to collect.
Okay, so was Andrew married?
Yes, we're about to get into that.
Ooh, okay.
That's on a long list of people.
Okay. Wow. So he's pissed off private partners. He's pissed off supposedly the mafia, had ties kind of all around the world. And you said he's based in Tucson?
Yeah, he's based in Tucson, and he definitely has pissed off his business partners. The mafia thing, I don't think they have any real, like...
Speculation?
Yes,
okay, so
but it's a possibility because of...
I mean, it could be a business partner that had ties to the mafia who asked them for it because, hey, where'd they get the money? They could have come from the mafia.
Right, yeah,
You know,
and they're all in that same business, so they all have the same connections, so...
Okay, so the other question that I have is, and you said this was the mid-90s?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was a remote trigger, or it was a trigger upon him starting the engine?
No, remote detonator. Yes.
Were they able to conclusively figure out how far away the
I don't think there was a specific distance, but they did know that whoever...
They had to be close.
They had to be able to actually see because they had to see him get in the car in order to know he was in there to blow it up or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't like a weight trigger or like ignition trigger. So they had to remotely detonate.
Yeah, so they had to physically see it and hit the button.
My assumption already is whoever did it wanted to watch it happen. I'm not getting the vibe that it was an assassin. Mm-hmm. I don't know for sure yet, but my vibe is it was very personal and they wanted to see that happen.
Okay.
So we'll go from there, but let's get into his marriage.
Yeah. That's where we're going next. Okay. As compelling as the professional hit theory was, every veteran detective knows the oldest rule in the book. When a man is murdered, you don't start in a boardroom, you start in his living room. When you look at Andrew Smith's personal life, you don't see a visionary or a mogul. You see a trail of broken promises to people who felt used up and cast aside. Andrew's personal history was divided into two distinct chapters. The first was his life with Connie Matthews. They married in the 60s, a time when Andrew was still building his foundation. They had two children, Alex and Mandy. As Andrew's ego grew alongside his bank account, his original family began to feel like a relic of the past life that he was eager to outrun. By the time he and Connie divorced in the early 80s, the distance was already there.
Okay, so early 80s, they divorced, they married in the 60s. So, 20-ish something years, just about, with 2 kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And that was Connie?
that was Connie.
Okay.
And that was his first wife. In the early 90s, as Andrew's business empire began to wobble, that great fade truly happened. His relationship with Alex and Mandy didn't just cool off, it essentially vanished. Imagine being 21 or 23 years old, standing on the threshold of your own life while your father, the man who has private jets and casino deals, suddenly just stops answering the phone. As his debts mounted, so did his emotional unavailability. To his older children, Andrew wasn't a king. He was a ghost who had abandoned them for a newer, shinier life. That shinier life had a name, and it was Karen Hoffman.
Karen.
In 1986, Karen was the it girl of the local social scene.
Oh, I bet she was.
A former beauty queen with a sharp eye for status. When she married Andrew, she didn't just move into the house, she launched herself into the upper crust of society. We're talking about exclusive country club memberships, high-end real estate, and a social calendar that most people only read about in magazines.
We have had a theme
I know.
lately.
I thought about that after I started researching. I was like, what is it with all these, like...
Highfalutin,
Yes.
like...
Yeah. So...
Okay, Karen, did they have any
Yes.
kids?
They did have 2 kids together, yes.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Is there an age, what's the age difference between the 4 kids? Like... His original 2 kids, Alex and Mandy.
I'm not sure how old the younger 2 were. The older 2 kids at the time of the bombing were in their early 20s.
Okay, so there's a pretty big age difference, I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not out of the question that a 20-something-year-old kid could possibly have retrofitted a pipe bomb
Yeah.
right betwixt their daddy's cheeks.
Oh, my God. Okay. Okay. You totally made me lose my place now.
It's all right.
Okay.
That's my job.
When the money dried up and the secret started leaking out, the fairy tale didn't just end, it turned into a war. 1993, their divorce was a bloodbath. Karen was convinced Andrew was playing a sophisticated shell game with her. She sat in the courtroom galleries certain that he was claiming poverty to the bankruptcy courts while he was stashing millions in offshore accounts far out of her reach. She felt cheated, left to raise 2 young children on what she considered the scraps of a failed marriage. It was during this peak time of resentment that the investigator took its most dramatic turn. Detectives discovered a $2 million life insurance policy on Andrew. Usually, when a marriage ends in a bitter divorce, these policies are canceled immediately. This one stayed active.
That's interesting. Wait, so was their divorce finalized?
Yes. When he died, yes, it was final.
Wait, so how soon before he died was it finalized?
They got divorced in 93 and...
He died when? 94?
96, I believe.
In 96. Okay, so they had been divorced for a while.
For a little bit, yeah. Yeah. It wasn't like fresh. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So the life insurance policy stayed active. Was that for the kids?
Well, the kids were listed as the beneficiaries, but to go to her if they were minors when he died. And she was the one who took out the policy, and she was the one paying the premiums on it.
You're looking pretty sus, Karen.
Which she did have the policy when they were married. She just continued
saying,
it
you're
afterwards.
looking pretty sus, Karen.
Okay.
So wait, did he know about the policy?
Yes, he did.
Okay, and he knew that she was actively keeping it up after they divorced?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
But I don't think he was happy about it. I think I read that since she opened the policy, she was the one who had to cancel it.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially if you take it out on somebody else.
You can take a life insurance policy out on anybody. I've got 4 on you.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch yourself.
Please.
Just kidding. Okay, let's see. Where was I?
You were comparing yourself to Karen.
So it remained a $2 million tether between an ex-wife who felt robbed and a husband who was increasingly worth more dead than alive. Karen wasn't facing this new, leaner reality alone. She also had a new partner, a man named James. James wasn't just a rebound. He was a wealthy, powerful businessman with a reputation for being well-connected. We're talking about the kind of connections that go far below the surface of polite society, the kind of people who can solve problems with a level of professional silence.
Interesting. So you might say he's in the casino realm.
Possibly.
The underbelly.
Yeah. So, investigators had to ask themselves, did the motive for Andrew's death lie in a casino in Aruba, or was it sitting in a suburban home, fueling a decade of bitterness and a multi-million-dollar payout?
Well, it's interesting. If James is that successful, then why is Karen so hard up?
Well, they're just dating. They're not married.
Okay, but still.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she has a career of her own, too.
She's a former, what was it, beauty queen? Or okay. Her name was Billie Jean. So she's a former beauty queen. Seriously, she's seemingly got the looks. She's got the attitude, the accoutrement to go along with the socialite society. So James must see something, right? And I'm assuming he's going to dote on her. And if he's that well-to-do, he's going to splurge.
Yeah,
right? So
I agree.
That's interesting.
It may be more than just the money that she's upset about. So let's step back from the crime scene.
Yes, let's.
And take a look at our suspects.
Well, we have a laundry list.
So just as a recap.
Mario.
We have Mario.
We have Connie, Karen, James. We've got the speculation of connections in Aruba. We've got
the 2 adult children.
We've got the 2 adult children. I'm not even going to rule out the 2 little children. Some of them can be quite maniacal. I don't know. It could be Chucky. It could be Damien. I don't know. He didn't give names for those. I'm left to suspect everybody.
Yeah, Chucky and Damien. Yeah.
Okay, so James definitely has connections. Okay, so when they were looking at James, what else did they find?
That's all the information I have for you. He's dating her, he's wealthy, and he has connections.
Okay, did they know each other before the divorce?
That I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't think it was an affair situation, if that's what you're...
Well, no, I'm sorry. Did James know Andrew?
I don't think so.
Okay. So no prior connection. They weren't together before the divorce.
Right.
Afterwards. Mario just seems like a disgruntled business partner.
Very disgruntled, but he also lost millions of dollars in the deals.
And Connie has been awfully quiet.
She is. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of hiding in the shadows.
Yeah, for real. What became of Connie after the investigation? Like, did they still keep tabs on her?
I can tell you what happened to anybody because somebody's in jail.
No. I'm sorry. Like, during the investigation, like, what happened to Connie? Did she stay on a person of interest list? Was she cleared in that time frame?
If I tell you that, then you're going to know.
Is there a transition somewhere where she became James? That's what I'm trying to get to.
She did not transition into James.
Okay. All right. Let's see. And somebody's in jail. So did they find fingerprints on anything?
No, nothing that linked anything at the scene to a specific person.
So this is afterwards that they found out. They were able to probably trace something financial back to somebody, right?
Yes, at some point they could.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I mean, with the life insurance policy, with what you're describing, Karen and James, I feel like they're kind of suspect numero uno, but
okay.
One of the kids makes sense to me. Like one of his former kids. Like,
you get put out. Your dad leaves your family and abandons you, then starts a new family, and then does the same thing to them.
Especially since there was a comment about them like kind of idolizing him, right?
Yeah.
Really looking up to him. That had to hurt. That had to hurt quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so, first runner up, I'm going with the kid.
Are you going to actually pick a person or?
Well, I don't know which of the kids. It could have been both of them together. It could have been one
you can
or
just
the other.
say
I'm just saying
one of the kids in general.
One of the kids. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. I will accept that.
I won't do a runner up.
Okay. So that's what your choice is.
That is my choice.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Interesting. This was a good one.
Thank you.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
It has been a long time since you have been behind the wheel of the podcast.
I know.
So this is...
Yeah,
you done good.
Thank you.
You got your nerves out, and you had to go change out of your sweater because you were sweating.
I was sweating. I was so nervous.
But do you feel better now that it's over?
A little, yeah, but I still have to do part 2, so
yeah,
there's that. All right.
I wonder if I made the right choice. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yep. All right, guys. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review. If you have any comments or suggestions, you want to submit a case that would be fun for us to do, email us at deadgiveawaypodcast@gmail.com. Also, you can follow us on our socials, Dead Giveaway podcast across the board.
Yes.
And we do have a Patreon. If you guys want to check that out, support the show, that would be awesome. And I have to give a shout out to Florida. Florida, you came in clutch. You surpassed Tennessee.
A Florida man downloaded our episode?
No, it was a Florida man. The Florida man, whilst wrestling with gators, was listening to Dead Giveaway podcast.
Awesome.
And you are great. Thank you, Florida.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we will see you guys on Thursday and see if Billy was right or wrong.
All right. We'll
Bye.
see you then.